it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and tonight I thought I would do another review. I've got this beautiful Royce 1-621 AM base station receiver that I picked up as part of that really cool collection that I got not too long ago. And I've had a chance to clean it up and work on it a little bit. And I'm happy to say that it is working and working well. In fact, it's a really nice little radio. I kind of dig it. So that's it. Let's go over this thing. First of all, it's a nice metal case here. I really like the fact that it's metal, real wood sides, which is kind of funny, and then brushed aluminum with a fake wood veneer over the front here. Now the only damage this thing has is this little dent right here in the speaker grill, which is a shame because other than that this thing is pretty much flawless. But it does come with its original Royce microphone, which is kind of neat, and it feels like a nice high quality mic, which is always cool. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. I'll go through all the buttons and knobs with you. Skip was rolling pretty good here just about 5 minutes ago, so we'll see if we can pick anything up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, what we have over here initially is the channel dial. Now this is a pretty early radio. Now this one has the old mechanical dial, but it's nicely lit. The letters and or the numbers are very well printed out, and they're big enough that you can see them pretty well. What's also surprising about this, and this definitely tells you that it was during that whole changeover period into the 40 channel range, is that it is a 40 channel, but it still uses the mechanical dial. You don't see a whole lot of 40 channel except for real bottom end radios that had the mechanical dial, but this one does, so that's kind of cool. Let me go ahead and turn the volume back down here. I'll turn the squelch up. There we go. So it does work. The little meter here, hopefully you can see it. It's bouncing around as people come and go through there. Like I said, the skip's rolling. Well, somebody talking loud there on 32. Anyway, back to it. So it's got some pretty other neat functions here. It does have a noise blanker, you know. So that's kind of a nice function, especially for such an early radio. Not a lot of them came with that. CVPA function, which is nice. You know, if you had this in a business setting back in the day, you could use that to contact people in the shop or whatnot. Now, another nice function that it has here that I do like, I wish more radios came with, is tone control. So the speaker, if it sounds a bit tinny to you or too much bass or too little bass, you can change the tone. So that's a function that radios don't really come with anymore, and I miss that because I like that. And then we have tune. Tune is, again, kind of an obsolete function, but this one came with it. This is like Delta Tune or, oh, Cobra had a name for it. I can't remember what theirs was called. But anyway, what it does is, you know, again, with your older radios, especially crystal controlled, if they got slightly out of alignment, when you were transmitting slightly off frequency. So tune allows you only on a receive to move slightly off frequency to the left or the right, much like you would with sideband with a clarifier. Think of it as like an AM clarifier, if you will. Allows you to kind of focus in to get those channels tuned in a little bit better. So it's a neat function. I don't know how useful it would be in the modern era, but it's certainly nice to have. So I like that. Now up here you have your meter, which again is working fine and it's well lit. And now this is just a mobile radio meter, which is kind of interesting that they put that in there, but it does work. So I'm happy that I didn't have to do any adjustments on that. And then lastly over here we have a green light for RX, and then if you key up, you get your red light for TX. So that's all functional. I'm really happy that the radio, as clean as it is, appears to be in such good working order. And I have used it to make a local contact. In fact, when we were talking with the locals here last Sunday night, I got on here and used this for a little while, and they said, you know, not bad considering I was using the stock mic. They said they were able to hear me quite well, so that's kind of cool. So I'll get the camera off the tripod and we'll get a little closer up here and I'll show you the sides and the back of it and we'll go through the rest of the functions. But it's a nice little radio. I think if you were just interested in AM only conversations, this would be a really great radio to have. You know, it's no bells and whistles really as far as you know, no SWR meter built in, nothing like that. But for just a basic base station that you could have set up in your home, you probably pick these things up relatively inexpensively, and it's a really high quality unit. The inside of it, you can tell that it's built well and built to last, and it certainly has. So let me get the camera off and we'll get a little closer in. As you can see, the top of the unit is extremely clean. It's a nice painted surface like a crinkle coat metal. I like that a lot. Then we'll tilt this up before I unplug it so you can see the lights a little closer up and see those dials. But really looks pretty nice. It's just a basic radio, but I'll tell you what, they did a nice smooth lines with it. The meter's nice and easy to read. It's got a good light on it. And I don't know what it is. I just like the looks of it. It definitely screams 70s, but in a good way, you know. Buttons are all clean, dials work well. Everything looks good. Just a nice little radio. 621. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of this thing. On the sides, you can see that's actual real wood. That's not even veneer. That's not covered wood. It's wood. And there are some dents and scratches in it. It looks like at some point there's a little screw mark right there. So it looks like at some point this thing may have been mounted on underneath a cabinet, which is kind of cool. In the back here, we've got all the information. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. We can get it all in there. Serial number, amperage usage, external speakers, so you could add a louder speaker if you want to, and your PA speakers there. There's more information. Now this was made in March of '77, so right at the line where 40 channel was coming in. So that's very interesting. This is really an early 40 channel model, but it's still in excellent shape. And then you have AC or DC, so you do have the option of running it off a 12 volt power supply if you want to mount it in a truck or a camper or something like that. You certainly could. Nice, easy to replace fuse, although hopefully it would not be something you'd have to replace very often. And then this side over here is much like the other. It's just real wood, about, I don't know, a 1/4 inch thick, but built very well. The bottom, I won't take it all the way off of here, but what I do like about this is this plate here. I don't know if I can lean it down. There we go. I can get it down there. That plate there is removable, so you can access some of the board from without taking the whole case apart. So that was kind of neat. When I cleaned it up, I took that off and used that area alone just to kind of clean up what I needed to clean up, and the radio jumped back to life. So I was quite happy with that. So there's the front of it again, and that's probably where we'll probably leave the video. The original microphone is a Royce mic. Nothing spectacular about that, just a sturdy mic, about the same size and feel you would get out of any mic from that era. The Pace that I had was right around the same year model build, and it felt pretty much just about the same. Looked slightly differently. 4-pin, so easy enough to use just about anything you want with it if you want to. Although, you know, I haven't checked it. Maybe, could be that the wiring is different on a Royce than a Cobra, but it is a 4-pin, so at least you can get the plugs fairly easily. I guess that's it for tonight, guys. I am Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and I hope you enjoyed this video because it's kind of hard to find a radio like this out there in the wild anymore. And if you're interested in them, or if you used to have one, please drop a line and let me know, and we'll chat about it. Till then, I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet.